Well, after as emotional a night of television as any of us have been a part of Tuesday at Staples Center, this night finds us back inside Studio J here in Atlanta. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny Smith, Charles Barkley. Just want to thank again those who were part of that broadcast the other night, Jerry West and
Rick Fox, Derek Fisher, Dwayne Wade,
Candace Parker, Reggie Miller.
Steve Nash,
all their perspectives, very valuable. And we go back to work trying to kind of get back to normal. We bring you the Warriors and Celtics, then the Jazz and the Nuggets, and this hour-long pregame show featuring the announcement of the All-Star reserves. Now, we announced the starters a week ago, those who came out on top in balloting by fans, players, and media. Now, filling out the remaining 7 spots is the duty of the NBA's coaches, voting on players in their own conference, selecting 2 backcourt, 3 front court, and 2 wild cards. We've assembled these reserves in no particular order, and we start with the reserves in the East.
Okay.
Jimmy Butler.
Well deserved.
5th All-Star selection in his 9th season. 20 points a game, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, which is a career high, and 3 triple doubles. 32 and 15, the Miami Heat record. They are number 3 in the East. Ben Simmons of the Sixers, who are 31 and 17 and number 6 in the East. 16 points a game, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, which is number 5. He's number 1 in steals and has 4 triple doubles on the year. The Milwaukee Bucks have the best record at 41 and 6, and they have Chris Middleton as a reserve. His 2nd All-Star selection in his 8th season. 20 points a game is a career high, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. A career high 50% shooting, could join the 50-40-90 club. Jason Tatum of the Boston Celtics is an All-Star for the first time in 2020 in his 3rd season. 22 points a game is number 20, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, had 6 games of at least 30 after having 1 in his first 2 seasons in the NBA. Want another first-timer? How about Domantas Sabonis?
Yes.
The Pacers, 31 and 17, number 5 in the East. 18 points a game, 13 rebounds, 5 assists. Only he and Giannis average at least 18 points and 12 rebounds. Kyle Lowry of the Toronto Raptors, who are 33 and 14 and number 2 in the East. His 6th straight selection after no All-Star appearances in his first 8 seasons. 20 points a game, 5 rebounds, 7 assists is number 8. 4 games of 30, had 1 last season. And finally, Bam Adebayo.
Oh, Chuck.
Bam! Miami Heat. First-time All-Star in his 3rd season.
Well deserved.
16 points a game, 10 rebounds, which is number 8. 59% shooter, 3 triple doubles, 27 double doubles, 11 20-point games after having 1 in his first 2 seasons. And so there are the reserves in the Eastern Conference. And I know you've been talking about Bam for weeks and weeks, and he's in there by virtue of the coach's vote.
Well, you know, he deserved it. I've been watching the Heat because they are one of the surprise teams, and obviously Jimmy Butler, I felt like should have been a star. But Bam Adebayo has been fantastic. I didn't know he was just going to be this terrific of a player. I thought he was just going to be a guy have good offensive numbers, good rebounding, but he is terrific at both. But at the energy level he plays at, I'm just happy for him. Well deserved.
Yeah, let's look at, because last week when we announced the starters, we also projected our reserves. And so here are the way those lists look. Malcolm Brogdon did not make it, Kenny, on your part. Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose had a case. And,
yes, he did.
And because, he's leading Detroit in scoring. He's averaging about 19 points a game, shooting about 50%. They're 17 and 32.
Derrick Rose, I'm happy for him because he's such a great kid. The only thing I would change about my list, I actually I should have put Chris Middleton on there. That was a mistake on my part.
Oh, you said it today. Good.
Yeah, no, that was a mistake on my part. Too late.
Last week you wouldn't have hit it. But I agree. I think, Brogdon was a personal style of play pick more than the actual thing. But D Rose, Kyle Lowry, I don't think there's a difference.
How much of a case does Bradley Beal have?
Oh, yeah, he's got a case.
And let me tell you this. I mean, only 2 players have averaged 28 points a game at the All-Star break and not made the All-Stars. Dickie Barnett in 1966 and World B. Free in 1979. The Wizards are 15 and 31. Beal, 28 points a game. That's number 6. Having a career year.
He definitely has a case, but I think because of the record, you got to give guys like Adebayo a chance. And I also thought Drummond should have made these.
Their records are just so bad. And Kyle Lowry having 20 points, close to 8, 9 assists on a team that
number 2 in the
East. Right. You got to reward guys who's putting in work that is valuable in terms of those 20 points are making a difference. Where, well, you're averaging 28, but is it making a difference? And I think that's where the voters went.
Where else, Chuck, on this, do you look at that and does anything surprise you, or do you say, boy, I wish they had another spot, besides Derrick Rose, who you've pointed out?
Well, listen, I have no problem with the All-Star team. Like I say,
I know a lot of Zach LaVine fans out there, being in Chicago, are thinking that.
First of all, they're just wrong.
I think.
What about
a good year? But
Jaylen Brown?
25 point a night.
Well, listen, hold on now. Let's stop kidding ourselves. Listen,
what about Jaylen Brown?
No. If any guy,
he's close on there.
No, but I'm saying though, you can't even consider Zach LaVine before Bradley Beal. That doesn't make 0 sense. So if anybody, like I said, I'll give y'all Bradley Beal.
Can you consider him ahead of Derrick Rose?
No,
LaVine?
Yeah. No. I personally
got a better record.
They know they have a better record, but to them 2 ugly girls, nobody cares. But what Derrick Rose has done has been a surprise. We all thought Derrick Rose was finished, and he's been spectacular. So I wanted to reward Derrick Rose.
But we always talk about this on time. Spectacular on a bad team, or are you really spectacular? We always have this.
Well, then how could you bring up Bradley Beal then?
Because he's averaging 28.
Well, wait, why do you have a double standard?
Spectacular on a bad team.
No, it's not double standard because he's not finished. Like you said, you thought Derrick Rose finished. Bradley Beal is nowhere near finished.
Oh, I know that, but I'm saying
he was doing that, when they were pretty good.
No, but I'm saying I just wanted to reward Derrick Rose because it has been a shocker to all of us how well he's played this year.
And I think because of there is such a drop in records on the East that you're going to say, are you going to take 2 from the top teams?
Right.
Or you're going to go ahead and reward guys who's having individual good seasons but bad team seasons.
And that's what they did.
Yeah. And they said, no, we're going to reward the guys who are winning.
I'm sure coaches.
That's what Ernie said.
Coaches. I'm sure coaches in the East are looking at it and saying, okay, let's take a look at this. I need 7 guys, and I'm going to start at the top.
I forget the coaches. You said it. You got it 100% right, and you were actually a voter. So you voted that way, correct?
Well, I didn't have to vote on the reserves. We voted for the starters on that media panel, but for what we did.
But I'm talking about when you just did it.
Yeah, exactly. I just looked at that and I said,
but he rewarded winning.
We
had, like I say, that's the reason LaVine, Beal, Derrick Rose didn't make it. They rewarded with Kyle and Chris Middleton, who are both terrific players, I might add.
Congratulations to all those reserves, and in particular those 3 first-timers, Jason Tatum, Domantas Sabonis, Bam Adebayo. Oh, come on, told you all. I did not put Pierre up to that.
Well, Pierre, you can't get 1,000%.
And it's 1,000%. 1,000% correct.
That's pretty, Pierre.
That's very